Hello the YouTubes, it's JackPotNinja here again. This is No Man's Sky Maximum Damage Multitool. I've sort of tried to organise my thoughts in some sort of a logical order, in a way that I can present and convey some useful information to you. A lot of this is already known, some of it might be new, but it's nice to know that the stuff that I found out seems to match in with what everyone else seems to think. This is how multi-tools used to look on No Man's Sky. So you have a nice picture of the multi-tool itself, and then you have this lovely box in the corner that gives you the damage mining, the scanner bonuses, and then this that gives you the actual sort of the damage potential and the scanner range. And damage potential has a little white line, and then the yellow bit represents how much is bonuses. So that's the white bit's the base and the yellow bit is the bonus, and that's how it used to work. But roundabout beyond, they changed the look but left a lot of these features still in there. So if we skip on to the next slide, this is what it looks like now. So you get an image in multi-tool, and then you just get the damage potential and the scanner range. You don't get all those percentages, but those percentages still exist in game. There's not a lot of variance in what those percentages are. So previously it used to vary quite a bit. There was quite a big range for those numbers to be in. So you could go around and you could choose a multi-tool that had those extra bonuses. So how does type and class affect damage? So ultimately what we're looking for is the multi-tool that's got the highest one of those percentages on it for damage. And it's very difficult to find out because it's not displayed. So of the four types, there's pistol, rifle, experimental, and alien. From this, we can tell the tool that gives the highest damage percentage is the alien tool. And then within those tools, there's an A class, a B class, a C class, and an S class. And that's how the class system works in No Man's Sky. And S is always the best. So if we're looking for a multi-tool that does the most damage, we need to be looking at an S-class alien multi-tool. I wasn't sure whether there was variance within the S-class alien multi-tools, if you could get a perfect damage alien S-class. So I went and did loads of testing. So here's my testing plan. Go to the NMS coordinates exchange, find one of every type and class of weapon, uninstall all the technology from them, write down to just the mining beam, write down the damage potential, install the next piece of technology, write down the damage potential, get another one, write down the damage potential, and eventually I should get a figure for one example of all the different types. So I made a great big spreadsheet, broke it all down, and these are the results that I got. And these are consistent across all of them. So every C-class pistol I looked at, the mining beam was 333.3, the pulse splitter was 959.6, and the scatter blaster was 2967.7. So my assumption is that a pistol C-class, there is no damage bonus on that whatsoever. So these are the baseline figures from which to judge. When you look at an S-class pistol, so within the pistol range, the numbers are exactly the same. So you get no bonus for it being an S-class, or if you are, is the fact that it's a 0 bonus on a pistol anyway for damage. If you look at the S-Class Experimental, so there's a lot of people recommending getting an S-Class as your big damage dealer. And damage-wise, it does have a bonus on it, but it's not as much as what you get on an Alien. So if we look at the Alien one, your damage for the mining beam, which is like the base damage, because it hides all the other ones. So if you look at the bolt caster and the blaze javelin and the plasma launcher, the mining beam tends to mask the damage potential, shows the greatest damage dealer on the multi-tool. So if you've got the mining beam installed, which you can't uninstall, you install blaze javelin and it will show us 3 through 3.3 because the mining beam is actually doing more damage than your blaze javelin is doing. So how much percentage difference do you get from having a C-class pistol to having an S-class Alien? So I worked that out on my spreadsheet, and for the mining beam I got 30%, for the pulse spitter I got 33%, and for the scatter blaster I got 35%, which is a bit strange. There's a lot of variance there. Some of it is to do with the way that the damage potential is calculated. So damage potential seems to be damage over time, and it takes into account reload time and how many shots you fire off. It's a bit of a weird figure, and there's no real detail on how they calculate that, which is why when I ploughed all my resources into increasing damage percentage, I wasn't getting anywhere near the figures that other people were getting. And it turns out that damage percentage increase isn't as important as you would at first think. So when you actually work out what the percentage increase is, it's actually 33.475, and then lots and lots of numbers recurring. So when I was looking at this, I thought that maybe this was some kind of a mistake, because I was like, why would Hello Games use such a ridiculously long percentage? But when I got a friend to pull some game code for me, from the game files themselves, this bit here is the seed value. So this is this represents this particular multi-tool, and if you look at the damage percentage on it, they're all sort of 34.9 something or 34.8, and it rounds up to 35. But in the actual game files, it does have this ridiculously long variance. So it does make me wonder, if I went out and found a multi-tool that had got a 34.8 something and compared it to one that had got a 34.9 something, would I actually get any difference in the multi-tool? So far I haven't seen that in reality, so I don't know whether they round the number up before they make the calculation for potential damage. You really can't get this sort of detail on PS4. You only get this on PC, where you've got access to the actual files and you can hack it and read the numbers. So that was quite interesting to find out. I've entitled this slide, "Hasn't Someone Done This Already?" So basically all the work that I did has previously been done by other people. Other people have put the work in and have found out exactly what I found out, which is that all the Alien S classes have a max damage of 35%, and nearly all of them are set to 35%. There is nothing more than that. So that when people post on Coordinates Exchange and they say, look at this maximum damage multi-tool, then they're maybe not lying. The more they don't understand how damage potential works, but there is no variance within the classes. If you strip them all down back to the mining beam, all the S-class aliens are exactly the same. What makes the difference is what upgrades you install and the values that you have on those upgrades. So that brings me on to the next bit. How can I boost damage potential? And the answer is upgrades and blueprints. So the difference between an upgrade and a blueprint is that the values on the upgrades vary. Blueprints you obtain and you can install once, and it has a fixed stat. There's no variance and it's only a single stat. So on stat ranges, this is from my own testing rather than from the No Man's Sky wiki. This information is available on the wiki, but since the Desolation update, it's no longer accurate, and they are working on correcting that. So on a Scatter Blaster module, on an S class, you'll get 4 of these attributes from the stat pool. So on a C class you get 1 to 2, on a B class you get 2 to 3, an A class 3 to 4, and an S class you get 4. And within the stat pool, these are the 6 things you can get on the module: damage, reload time, fire rate, clip size, burst cooldown, and shots per burst. So these are the 2 new stats: burst cooldown and shots per burst. So the way I understand this works is the fire rate is the gap between bursts, and the shots per burst is how many shots are fired in a burst. So I think in a standard burst you get 5 shots, and so with 3 S classes you should get 8 shots per burst. And then burst cooldown is there's a forced gap where you're waiting for it to be ready to do the next burst. So there's a difference between reload time is when you install the clip, and burst cooldown is like an overheating. It's like a forced gap. If you increase the number of shots per burst, it means you run out of ammo quicker, which is why they've got the clip size boost in there. So which of these stats is the most important? So when I was doing my testing, I was concentrating on getting my damage right up, getting the X-ray clip, and the shots and the burst cooldown, and I was ignoring reload time and fire rate. And my thoughts on that were that reload time didn't really matter. What we were trying to do was pump out the most powerful blasts that we could without running out of ammo. So I ramped all of these up, and it was just going bang, 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 and it looked good, but the stats weren't as high as other people were reporting. So about this time in my testing, there was this post on Reddit, the 9K multi-tool. There's a couple of content providers that have done videos on this, Captain Steve quite notably, and Professor Cynical. When Captain Steve put his video out, I looked at it and I was like, well, from everything I know, it doesn't seem to me like I can ramp damage potential up that high. It was an S-class experimental, so it wasn't an alien multi-tool like I'd been practicing with. So I couldn't see why that would be doing that level of damage. From the screenshot, you can see that he's got the scatter blaster. He's got 3 S-class modules. I don't think that's an optimum arrangement. And he's got the C-class blueprint in there. And so these are definitely his damage dealers. But from what I was finding on my testing, I wasn't coming anywhere near a 9,000 damage. So I was a bit cynical about this, as it were. And I was thinking, well, this is a clickbait post that this guy's put out on Reddit. I don't think this is even possible. And I went and got the multi-tool. I uninstalled everything, did the same testing that I've done on the other ones, and it was basically, it was an S-class multi-tool. It was just I was getting these exact same stats on the base multi-tool. So I put out a live video debunking the myth of damage potential. And after I put that video out, someone contacted me and said, you really need to look at fire rate and how that affects things. So I'd been deliberately rolling this fire rate number off, this 15% max fire rate. So I went out and found myself a 14 fire rates, tested that, and I could really see the difference that fire rate was making. So knowing that helps you work out how this 9k is possible. And once we'd figured that out, it became obvious that you could ramp pretty much any S-class, alien or experimental, up to these sorts of levels if you just concentrate on the scatter blaster and getting the fire rate up. So why does fire rate help damage potential? And I think it's the time factor. So as I say, the formula for how they calculate damage, there's nothing you can find that will tell you what that formula is, but it's obviously taking time into account. It's not DPS, it's not damage per second as such, it's some kind of time-based estimate of the amount of damage you would do with this particular multi-tool. But you can definitely see, the damage percentages, the damage bonus percentages still come through if you sort of try and back calculate it. So how do you get the perfect upgrade module? So first you need to decide what perfect looks like, so what your stat priorities are. So from that list, which 4 stats do you want out of that group? And what I do is I get the best module I can get, and then I install it, and then I try another module and another module, and every time I get one that's slightly better than one I've already got, I add it into my pool and I get rid of the one that's been superseded. So how do you actually re-roll modules in the game? Are they not just random? And the answer is no. They're not random as such. They're what computer programmers call pseudo-random. So there's a list of random numbers, and you get a seed value that tells you where to pick from in the list, and then from that seed value you can predict what the stats are going to be to an extent. You can sort of sneak peek and then and how do I conserve nanites while re-rolling? Well, we'll get onto that in a second. So this is what the wiki says about how the upgrade modules work, and this is basically an explanation of what I'm trying to say, but worded much better. So upgrade modules follow a static progression. So you get one after another. The generation seed is used for all module families at the same time. So that means if you've got a Starship module and you've got a multi-tool module, by installing the Starship module, you're moving the seed on by one. So you're moving one more down in the list, which we can use to our advantage. So let's continue reading. So during module installations, it goes up by one. The new module they change into correlates to their order in the installation. If the game is reloaded, the exact same pool will be offered to the player, no matter the order in which they install the other modules. So this gets me onto the conserving of nanites. If you get, say, 8 S-class Scatterblaster modules, and you open all 8 of them, you can see what the stats would be. You can then reload your save, and you know that what the stats are going to be for those 8. So if you see one that you really like, say the 4th one that you open, what you can do is you can open 3 C-class modules, which cost less nanites. So they're about 70 nanites compared to about 150 for the S-classes. So you can pop the first 3 C-classes, you can open your S-class, and you're guaranteed that is going to be that stat that you want. So you're only using up one of your 8 S-classes, and you're burning off the C-class. So that's what I do when I'm re-rolling modules. So I have a target of the stat that I want to get max value on, and I just pop a load of S-classes, work out where in the order I want to be, and then I choose that one. So this is my notes about where I am. So at the top I've got what the maximum values are for each of these things, and then this is my first tryout. So I got this 2 damage, 25 reload time, 25. No, I don't think that's right. I think I've copied and pasted that. That should be a 15. Here we go. It's getting better all the time. So a 2, a 25, a 15. And what I was looking for was a 3 damage, a 15 fire rate, 1 extra shot per burst, and a 20% burst cooldown. So out of this one, this set of rolls, I would have chosen this module. So I'd pop 1, 2 C classes, and then the 3rd S class would be the one that I would install. And then we go on to the next rolls until I'd slowly progressed towards my target. So if I did get a perfect module, brilliant. But basically we're edging towards this is the min-max that people talk about. We're edging towards the best that you can get. And this spreadsheet goes on quite a bit. So putting it all together, what I'm looking for is an Alien S-Class multi-tool. Whichever one, it doesn't really matter what it looks like. It's just an Alien S-Class so that I get the 35% damage bonus. I'm looking to get 3 perfect roll S-Class modules, which is quite difficult to come across. The C-Class blueprint module, which you can just build. And then the best arrangement for adjacency bonus. I haven't actually talked about adjacency bonuses. but you can look up online what the best arrangement is for putting the modules next to each other so that they touch the maximum number of sides, and so every side that your module touches you get a small percentage bonus for. So putting that all together, and this is still a work in progress, this is my maximum damage multi-tool. I think you can probably push this further than I have. So I'm up to 10940.7, and this is as of yesterday. These aren't perfect S classes. They're all 15% fire rate. They're all 3% damage. I think they're all 1 extra shot per burst, but one of them's got a middling sort of reload time, and the other one's got quite a poor burst cooldown. So I can roll a better result than this, and I was really hoping to have an 11k multi-tool to show you, but I'm pretty sure I will get there eventually. So that's my video on multi-tool damage. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm up to now the heady heights of 6 subscribers. So if you would like to subscribe for more of this nonsense, you can do. I hope it's been of use. If you do like it, then click like on the video, and I'll keep on doing this stuff. A bit of a clickbait. During module installations, it goes up by 1. The new module they change into correlates to their order in the so how to re-roll modules. So putting it all together, what I'm looking for is an Alien S-Class multi-tool, doesn't matter which one, whatever it looks like. Yes, Verity? What?
My computer is on the fritz.
Your computer is on the fritz?
Yeah.
And you need me to come and fix it right now?
I'm scared.
How are you scared of a computer?
With it?
I think it's minimal requirements for what you need to install it. I think I needed the chloride lattice, which I didn't have. Well, there's a really cool trick you can do that if you have a look at Professor Cynical's channel, he does a trick with multi-tools where he disassembles all the components from a multi-tool, and then he just switches between multi-tools and chooses the one that is just dismantled, and it just restores everything, but you get to keep all the bits that you've dismantled. So I could have done that to get myself the chloride lattice, so that's worth a look. So yeah, perfect rolls, C-class